Well, g'day guys, welcome to the channel and welcome to this restore. This is the Kriesler 11-103 StereoGram, the MultiSonic StereoGram. Now we're starting by, we've got the internals out. You probably saw the previous video, part 1, took everything out. Okay, so here we've got, and we have well, hooked up. You didn't need to see me hooking everything up. It's straightforward. Power supply there. We have the chassis here, and well, there's my speakers. As I said, these are great. They're fantastic. Love them. They don't take up any room on the bench. I don't have to muck around with the ones up there. So they're all connected. I do have a lead made up that's plugged straight into these units. AC is now direct from the power supply, but of course it runs through the on-off switch on this, which I've noticed is, if we hit it, yeah, just a little bit sticky. So we're going to have a look at the power supply switch. That's number one. Third one along is radio, and then we have hi-fi on and off, which just switches your ultrasonic tweeters in and out. That's all they do. Radio here, we'll take a closer look at this very shortly, but first of all we're going to dim bulb it. We're going to see, does this thing spring to life? We need to know this straight off, because, well, the customer wants to know, can it be repaired? Is it, how much is it going to cost? Everything. So we need to go through it and, yeah, work out everything that is wrong, could be wrong, and we go from there. Of course, the caps will be replaced, the electrodes, and the resistors checked. Resistors, these have got a habit of the cathode bypass resistors, as well as the caps, going high in value, so we'll check them out. And as I said, a pair of 6GW8s push-pull, and the same here for the left channel, and a 12AX7 for our, well, mixer pre-drive. So the radio itself, and if you can hear a noise in the background, I've got my air conditioner going. It's 30 something degrees here today, so pretty warm. The radio, a 6AN7 and a 6N8, very standard arrangement. Normally these radios perform really damn well. They are excellent radio. Dial glass, well, as soon as this is done, I'm taking that thing off. Now guys, if you're doing one of these and you take the dial glass off to clean it, do not put any sort of moisture on the back of this, otherwise your letters will disappear. They just float off in the breeze. Big problem with these. So yeah, don't, just clean them off the best you can with dry cloth, microfiber cloth, a very soft brush, something like that, but don't use a damp rag or anything damp. It's going to ruin your day. Okay, but the front is fine, you can use there, just as long as you don't get any moisture on the back of them. Now I think we're just about ready to fire this thing up, see what happens. We'll have a look at the dim bulb, and well, hopefully this will spring into life. I've also noticed that the tuning, no, the dial cord's okay, but very hard to turn, almost impossible to turn that. And well, volume, yeah, pretty tight. Bass, treble, yeah, they're tight, and the balance is tightish, but not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, I'll bring you around in a different position so you can see the dim bulb, you can see what's happening here, and we'll increase her up and try and get some noise out of it. As I said, it's all connected up as it was in the gram, so hopefully something will happen. Let's give it a go. It's a little bit better view for you. So she's all set up. Now I'm also monitoring. Where's the best position for you guys? Probably there. That's our HT, okay, which is coming from where it comes from the power supply to the main chassis. HT1, that's what we're monitoring, and we'll just see how things go. Now at the moment we're going to go on to this lamp here. It's a 75 watt, so that will be the one we are switched to, number 2. Okay, we're on dim, we're on, and well, we will be once we turn our power on to everything and start increasing the voltage. And let's see, can we see any activity from the dim bulb? We can. If we go up to 150 volts, let's just ease some voltage into it. The dim bulb is just alight, but it is dimming down. We've got to look for something happening here, which will mean the 6CA4 is starting to conduct. And, well, there's activity. And, of course, a little bit hard for activity there because the filaments are all 6.3. We're probably pushing in 3 volts at 150 volts. But it looks like we have HT coming up. There's no shorts. We'll just ease it into it to give our caps a little bit of time to, well, recover or reform or whatever they want to do. Okay, we're stabilised about 105. Do we have any audio? Nothing there yet. Wouldn't think there would be at the moment. Let's go up to 200. We're a little bit restricted with the dim bulb there. It's keeping us down. We're on 28 watts, 29 watts, and I hear a noise. I hear a noise. And we've got 156 on our HT. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Let's go up to 240. And of course our dim bulb is pretty well lit up, and sounds, we've got a very noisy volume pot. But we got something happen. All these pots are so dirty. And balance left, we got no right. We have no right. Okay. Why don't we have any right channel? We've got left, good on the left. We don't have anything. Okay, 176. And nothing on the right. Right, turning back a little bit, I'm going to go to both lamps. There we go, both lamps, and we're sitting at 50 watts, which, well, that's sort of power we should have both speakers. Yeah, okay, we've got scratchy volume control, but oh, hang on, we do have right channel. She's come up. Now it could be something dirty, but we do have both channels. The left is a lot louder than the right, but I would almost maybe put it down to, you got a couple of little caps in here that are on your 12AX7. Now they look like little 10 mics or something. They're losing the guts out of them, out of one end. Maybe one of those on the right side has not come up, but since it's been running and, well, reforming, it's now come up. So yeah, I suspect it's probably just caps. For a while there I was thinking no, not the audio transformer. Couple of waxies there that are across the actually that one is warm, that one is cold. And they're both cold, and this one is warm. I'm not going to run that very long because that waxy is across the HT of the transformer, or the plate of the 6GW8, to cut off our high frequencies, oscillations, etc. from the plate circuit to the transformer. Yeah, okay, I'm going to turn that off, and we probably won't go any further with this. Those two, well, those four will be the first things we've got to replace. So many times these will short, burn the one side of the transformer out, and, well, the game's all over then. Okay, just before lamps, that switch is a real trick. No dial lamps here. Oh yeah, well, there isn't, comes and goes, and the same with this one. Okay, so we've got a few intermittent lamps there. That's not a big drama. Our main pilot lamp is working. That's about all I can see. Okay, so turn it back on. Our HT. Now, let's flick it to, we know she's going to go okay. We're on 51 watts. Let's bypass and see what our HT is here. Okay, 215's not bad, but let's hit it. There she goes. 293, 94, 95. Okay, 296. 295. Yeah, don't want to push this too much without replacing. Yes, that's getting hot. 290, 294, 295. Okay, that's our HT, and I think it says about 300. I haven't got the manual in front of me, but we'll have a look at it next, see what things should be where. Now, probably where I'll start will be our power supply, replace the main filter cap, check our bias resistor in here for the biasing of our AX7 and the GW8s. And then we'll start on the caps, probably electros, and of course those four. Okay, let's do it. Now we're starting with the power supply. We're starting sort of back the front with this one. Power supply first. Well, we have to have this bit going to make sure that the rest of the unit is working fine. So this is the place to start. It's a bit grubby, dirty, just dusty. And we're going to, with this one, replace the cap, check the resistor. There's another little 22 ohm resistor up inside here. We'll have a look at the circuit and just bit by bit just go through it. So yeah, that's about all there is. We'll fire it up. There is a 6.3 volt indicator lamp for this one, but we'll fire it up on the dim bulb, of course, and make sure everything's right with it. I don't know whether I'll take it to full voltage, unloaded. I don't know what the HT is, but normal HT I think is around about 275 on this. So the capacitor we're replacing, the electro, the original was rated at 350 volts. I'm putting in a 350 volt. But anyway, we'll have a look at this now. Okay, we've done a bit of cleaning up. Now, the valve in this one, as I've mentioned earlier, is a 6CA4 rectifier. Okay, just a 9-pin mini tube. Mini what? This would be the original valve out of this one. I keep saying tube. We're not in America. It's a valve in Australia. And let's have a closer look at this fella. He's in pretty good order. And yeah, there's some information on him. And some more information there. Not a lot, but it's 89-33. Now, I don't know. I think that's a part number for the power supply. It's sort of one of those Kriesler numbers, isn't it, with the dash in the middle. Our power out here is those two, the two inside ones for the StereoGram, for the chassis itself, and the two outs, well, the other side, the other side of the terminal block, those two there is for our gram. Okay, so those two for the chassis, these two for the gram. Okay, now let's have a look underneath. I'm sorry about all the moving around there. Transformer, we're on a 240 volt tap there. We have common over here, and we have our HT, and it's a standard arrangement for our transformer. Down here, a little resistor, well, it's a 1 watt resistor, and that is 22 ohm, and it is for our bias of our output valves. Okay, now there's a little piece of wire in here, you'll see it. That's a fuse. That's on our 6.3 volt line. If we get a short anywhere on a 6.3, that opens up. Okay, so it's it looks to be about a 2 amp, 3 amp maybe. Could be even a little bit more. I'm not real sure of the actual rating. I've never had to replace it. So, but if the 6.3 shorted somewhere, it will blow that little link. Our filter cap. This is the fella we're replacing, and there he is there. Obviously, the original Ducon cap. If I can try and get the light out of the road. And he's rated at 350 volts. Now what I have, that's about all I can show you under there. There's not much to do. And this is what I'm replacing him with. Yeah, it's an unknown brand, but this is, I've used these for years, never had a problem with them. 47 mic at 350 volt. It's not a Nakamichi. I don't have any of those here, but this little fella should do the job. We'll actually put it on a meter before we put it in. I want specs on all these before this gram goes out. This thing has to be 100% perfect for this customer. The StereoGram means a lot to him, being his grandparents, and he certainly wants it in A1 order. So we'll put the meter on this little fella. We'll do that now, and just make sure what we're putting in will be okay. Okay, so here we go. It's a 47 mic. Let's see what a new one reads, and then we'll have a look at the old one when we pull it out. Yeah, sorry, I had me leads crossed there. Takes a little while for these big fellas. 43.2, ESR 2.5, VLOS 0.5%. So, yeah, that's fine. It is reading a little low there, which is unusual. But, yeah, I'm pretty sure that fella is going to be spot on. Let's double check. And as I take us through this, my old faithful, pretty basic meter, this one. Reading very similar, actually, very low. And the other one was reading 43. So I'm going to get another cap. And let's just set this one here. I'll get another cap and we'll have a look at it. Okay, we've got a Jamicon this time. 47-350. Let's have a look at this fella. And we might have a bit of a, well, not a leaky cap, but just loss of 45, 45.6, 45.7. That's a fair bit better, actually, than our, well, giant. Okay, yeah, guys pays to buy good caps. I shouldn't have these ones here. I haven't used a high voltage 47 for quite some time. Let's have another look at this. That's why these are, yeah, just. Okay. Anytime. There we go. 47.68. ESR 3.8 and a VLOS of 1%. So that's a good cap. ESR at 3.8 is fine at high voltage 47 mic. No problems there. Righto. That will be the capacitor we're putting in. And of course, we'll have a look at the old one when we're done. I'll come back when we've got this fella out. Okay, we've replaced our capacitor. There he is in there. All I had here was a radial cap. I didn't have an axial one to fit in there, not of 47 mic. So we've extended the negative lead down here, put a heat shrink on it so nothing shorts out. Because the negative of the cap is a 22 ohm above ground, okay, for the biasing. So positive over here onto our positive rail. Now, let's check this one and see what he reads. He may read okay, but he does have a bit of a bubble there. So I certainly wouldn't let that go out. Not out of this workshop, because it'll come back. Okay, let's have a look. Let's see what we can find here. Okay, 51, a little bit high. And, well, not really. This is a 50, not a 47. ESR 0.7 and VLOS 0.5. So, a very good cap, actually. No problems with that cap. But with signs like that, I wouldn't let it go out. But he will probably be kept as an emergency spare. Okay, so what else have we got to do? We've got to measure this resistor. Yeah, I'll get you so you can see the meter there. Now we're looking for 22 ohms. Hopefully this will be about right. I'll go right on to the terminal block there, and 23.3. So that's fine. That's no worries at all. It's within its 10%. Well, it's a 20% resistor actually. It's a silver band. So yeah, certainly within its specs. And if I short my leads together there, we're looking at almost, well, 0.6 of an ohm in the leads. So it's actually, 23 ohms, a little bit less actually, 22 point, 6, 7, yeah, that's fine. Righto, we'll put our valve in, and I'm going to put him on the dim bulb and gradually bring him up. Now I'll be looking at my voltage from the ground of this to the B+. Now what that means is it won't be accurate because we're reading from 22 ohms above ground. But I'm not going to take it all the way up. All I'm doing now is making sure this all works as it should. We don't have to take it right up. We won't do that until it's got a load on it. Alrighty, so let's first of all put our rectifier back. Okay, right, we're ready for the dim bulb. Now to do this, the actual chassis of the gram turns this unit on and off. So what it is it's between those two. I put a small wire link. Okay, so we'll just slip some wire in here. And this takes the place of the switch on the gram itself. And it's the inside two on this terminal block. If you're doing one of those, it's just put a wire link there, which is that fella there. Okay. So let's plug him in. First of all, we'll tip him up. Put our meter on the ground side. Now, as I said, I'm not taking this up a real lot. We'll go up to a couple of 100 volts, but we don't need to go any higher than that. We've got 0.5 volts on our capacitor. Okay, now we're going here, chassis ground, well, ground here, earth, but in actual fact, we are 22 ohms above ground. But anyway, this is good enough to see if I can find the place. Yeah, there. This is good enough to see is it going to all work. Now, I'll go I'll go 150 volts. That will take us up. And what we're looking for is just this fella to come up to 100, 120 volts, something like that. Okay, here we go. And we're on this lamp here. There we go. Lit up. Our pilot light is lit up, or our indicator light. We're now watching this to make sure our valve has emission. We know that this works because we've had the unit going, but I've been doing things in here and I just want to make sure before we put this together. There we go. And there's our HT going up. And we're on 130, 40, 70, 80, 90. Okay, a couple of 100 volts. Can we get 200? I think so. There we go, 200 volts. No, that's no load on 150 volts coming in. I don't want to take it any higher than that at the moment. The thing will probably, without a load on it, that's a 350 volt cap. This could go to in around 400, and I don't want to push it that far. Drawing 5.8 watts there at the moment, and well, that little fella's probably drawing a bit, as well as the filament. Righto, that's it guys, we know this works. Let's get the other unit, the main chassis, and start doing the caps. Okay, we've got this unit on the bench, and well, place to start is our on-off switch is a little bit sticky, so I'm going to spray a bit of contact cleaner in there, and also the other switches, so they will all have contact cleaner in them, so we know they're right. And then I'm going to come back and do those capacitors, the main ones, as well as there's two here for our cathode bypass on the 12AX7. There's one for cathode bypass on the GW8s. They actually share the one capacitor between the two. So all the electrodes, that's about it for the electrodes. So there's only 3 there, 5 and 7. That's it, that's the count. And then the waxies, our waxies up the top here, which we had a look at earlier on. This one was getting warm and it was leaky. So let's replace those. Now they're a 00, oh, what is he? 67? No, 0047 in these. Oh, 0068. No, 0047. They're all 0047s in those. So yeah, so we're looking at 4.7 nanofarad if you want to call it in nanofarads. I'm used to using microfarad actually, but 4.7 nanofarad for those 4. Alright, so I'm going to do that bit. There's no sense in you guys watching me replace caps. We've done this in another video. What we've got to do, we'll go ahead and do it, and I'll come back. You just know what I'm doing here anyway. Alright, and well, that's about, yeah, all I can see for the first part of this, and then it's a matter of measuring resistors. Now the resistors, cathode bypass resistors on the GW8s, 180 ohm there, there's another one in there, and on the 12AX7, I think, what are they, 2.2k? No, it seems a bit high, doesn't it? But that's actually what's there. There's, what's this one? Can't actually seem a 2.2k. Alright, we'll chase the circuit down anyway and have a look. Now guys, before we do the main chassis, just to look back on the power supply, here's a circuit. There it is up on the screen. So you can see pretty well all about it, of what it is. The capacitor I replaced, your fusible link, your what else have we got there? The 22 ohm resistor, and the taps on the transformer. So it's a very, very basic power supply with a 6CA7 rectifier. So there you go. I thought you might like that schematic. Just a bit bigger picture for you. And some of the schematics of this will be put on my Google Drive, so anyone will have access to it. The link will be in the description of the schematics. I'm just starting to put quite a few schematics on Google Drive. It's very handy for just, well, everyone. And of course, if you're after schematics for general stuff, kevinchant.com. What an amazing website that is. Okay, let's get into it. Yeah, just trying to get the best angle for you. But anyway, this is a very long chassis to get in front of a camera. Done all the electrode caps. The small ones down in here are so small compared to the old cathode bypass caps. And we've got two little fellas in there down on the 12AX7, and the other one up here with the GW8s. I've also done the top ones, which is across the primary of the audio transformers. So with that bit done, I've lubricated the switches. Now the on-off switch works very positive. They all work very positive. I've sprayed them all, and now it's time to, before I go any further, while I'm under here, put some spray in the pots. So I'll get my spray, and first of all we'll do our balance. Now these are also fairly tight, so a little bit of lube on these will help things along. And that's getting nice and free there now. Okay. Now what I've done with this, because you might do the same, when I get this thing on the bench, I take a photo of the top panel so that when I'm looking at it, I can work out what's what. Okay, I just took a picture, printed it out, and at least I know, okay, this one's the balance we're working on. The next one is treble, which spray a bit of gear in there, and a little bit at the front. And these are slotted, probably easier with a screwdriver to give him a work. Lovely. The next one is base. Okay. Giving him a little bit of extra lube because they are fairly stiff to turn. That's good. They're all, yeah, getting nice and free. Now, this one, volume. And actually, he's quite hard to turn. You can turn him, but fairly hard. Okay, a little bit at the front. And there he goes. He's freeing up now. No problem there. Right, now this fella, the tuning is very difficult to turn. I don't know where the problem is. It's probably in this shaft. So probably what moves with this? Yeah, a little bit of 226 or light WD-40 just at the rear, just in between the pulley in there, and we'll see. I'm pretty sure it's this tuning shaft, but then again it could be the tuning gang up here as well. So guys, you can't see a lot there. I'll bring us around to where I'm working. Okay, so that's our tuning shaft there, and it does turn. You've also got to lift this a bit because the drum is underneath this unit, and it will hit on the bench, which makes it very hard to turn. So yeah, okay, I'll see what we can do with this fella first, and then we'll put a little bit of oil, a dab of oil, up on the bearings up here. There's also the slide that the dial pointers are at, which has got dry grease and that on it. We'll have a look at that in a moment. And well, we're going to have to take the dial glass off to clean it, so we'll do that very shortly. I'll see whether this, and for this I'm using 226. It's sort of a very light WD-40, and just a tiny little bit in there and at the back, and we'll see, does this, he's still fairly tight. Yes, it moves, but yeah, it certainly should be better than that. So we're going to do some oil down in here on the bearings. On the little ball bearings. Okay, that's may free it up. And yes, it is. It is getting better. It is definitely getting better. That's a lot better than what it was. Okay, but saying that, it's still tight. So we're going to tip this over and see what else could be rubbing underneath. First of all, we'll take the dial glass off. So when we're doing this, two little clips either side. There we go, like so. Clip on this end. And probably only the Aussies will get this, but when I was a young fella, and speaking about these clips, my dad used to always say to me, when I was being a little bit naughty, that I'd get a clip under the ear. Well, obviously there they are. He was always going to give me a clip under the ear or a clout. Now I've got a tray of clouts here, clout nails, but I think he may have meant a little bit different meaning on that. Knowing my poor old dad. Rubber here with a a cardboard backing. Now this is fairly faded. I normally cut another piece of black cardboard here. That's almost a whitish faded rather than black, and black really stands out behind these dials. So I'll be putting in the black cardboard. There's our dial. Just be careful when you're rubbing these numbers. Okay, it's quite good at the back, but yeah, we won't go hectic. They're transfers, so water-based transfers, and yeah, they'll just start floating away if you do too much to it. The top is, yeah, we can wipe it with just a damp cloth, and that will be enough. Righto. Sit him over there where he's nice and safe, flat on the bench, and I will cut some cardboard, the same as this. Remount these rubbers back on. There's nothing wrong with them. They're quite pliable. And yeah, we'll get something a lot nicer than that. Okay, let's turn this up the other way. And you guys won't see all of this. And bring some light in. Right. Now, what's not turning? These are turning. They're turning, but they're very, very sticky. Yeah, I'd say these pulleys are the problem. Okay, once again, a little bit just in there, only a dab and a dab, and work them in. There we go. That one's freed up straight away. This one, yeah, he's getting there. There we go. Freed up straight away. And yeah, that's pretty good now. Now down in here, where this pointer assembly runs, there's some old dry grease in here. I'm going to get a little bit of isopropyl on a cotton bud, or a Q-tip as you call them, and go along in there and get rid of all that old grease, because that's also hampering this running along. But at least we've got our little pulleys going nicely there. And yeah, this grease is awful here. Okay, I'll do that and I'll be back. Okay, well, we've cleaned him up. That runs very, very nicely, very easy. We've put some contact cleaner on our ground contact on the tuning gang, oiled the bearings. We've got a little bit of lube on the pointer assembly that runs backwards and forwards. And yeah, that's running nicely. Okay, so that's good. Righto, we'll put him in the centre, clean up a little bit here, just on the panel, and I'll get some cardboard, we'll cut it and get the glass ready, and then really we can fire it up, and well, the next thing to do on camera is the alignment, which these are pretty straightforward. But first of all, I'll go through and just check a few resistors here that are, well, known in the past to be a problem. If they are a problem on this one, I will show you what they are and where they are on the circuit. Okay guys, well, we're all set up to give this a little bit of a test run. Now, I'll just point some things out. We're monitoring here, which is HT1. Now, that's our main HT to the centre tap of both the transformers, and amongst other things. But if we have a look at the diagram, there we are there. That's what we're looking at, HT1, and it's 300 volts. HT2, 250, and down to HT4, so forth. So all this stuff in the dotted line, okay, the outline in the dotted, inside the dotted line is right here. That's this stuff here. That's not in our power supply unit over there. Okay, so only the outside surround is on the power supply chassis. So we're looking at 300 volts HT. We're going to see if this works okay. We've got the dim bulb here over here, and I'll be having both dim bulbs on with this one. Draws a little bit of power, but well, we're looking about 80 watts of load there with the dim bulb. Okay, so we should see our light come up, well, come up and then dim off as the valves start to warm up. I've got me little trusty speakers here, one over here, and boy, they're great. I love them. So if you've got if you can go to the tip and find an old LCD screen, an old flat screen telly, go and rip the speakers out of it. They're so easy. Takes up no space on the bench, and they sound $1 million. Righto, enough yakking. Here we go. Putting her on. Now we're on 150 to start with. There we go. So she's coming up, and that should dim off a little bit as everything warms up. Shouldn't see the second one light up because that would mean there's something wrong. We should see something start up here soon on our HT as the 6CA7 warms up. 6CA4. Okay, nothing yet. We'll give it a little bit of time. We may not be high enough at 150 to start it. It's drawing 12 watts there, so you know, it's obviously nothing. There's no emission there at the moment. And we'll take her up a bit more. We'll take him up to 180, and that may get things working. We're at 16 watts. Something should start happening soon. Here, this is starting to move. There we go. She's starting to move up. It needed about 180 to get the 6CA4, well, the heater warmed up a bit. Okay. We'll just stand by and watch this fella come up. And there's a bit of a load there. So what I'm going to do is switch both lamps in. I do only have the 40 watt. Both lamps are in, and now we'll see this rise a bit. It's drawing 27 watts. Up she goes. And we should hear static or something from the radio once this gets up a bit. But as I said, we're going to see can we get 300 volts at this point. Climbing up nicely. Okay, we'll go up a bit more. 210. And we're still climbing there. And I think I hear a noise. I do. I do hear a noise. I do hear static.
This has been the Central West forecast.
And there we go. Now, back off our bass a little bit. That speaker, right speaker, left speaker. Everything's normal. Okay, up to 240. We're coming up to 240 there. Don't want to hear too much of that music.
Toughest. Titanic says Peter Kelly.
And yeah, we know everything's working there. Okay, 198. We're a bit low, aren't we? We need 300 there. I'm going to go off dim bulb. There's no smoke. Well, not yet. And see what happens. See, can we get a few more jolts out of it? There we go. 280. Okay, we're on 280 volts. 285. Nothing's getting too hot. Nothing there's getting hot. And if you're doing this, just be careful where you're sticking your fingers. Don't do as I do. I'm just feeling the capacitors, feeling the feed resistors to each section, just making sure. Okay, we're on 285 there. I thought we may get to 300, but it doesn't look like we're going to. What is our voltage in? It is 237. We're not on 240 yet. 240 there. 292. Okay, so that's just get around the other side here. That's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that.
And white. It was back at 1997, all built like a pretzel.
And, oh boy, those speakers sound amazing. Let's go the ABC up here. Where are we?
Not him.
There we go. And let we go from left to right there. And we can, our bass, better not play too much of that. Our bass is working. That's that one. And we got more rumble, and treble is working. And these radios in these things are just incredible. Actually, what I'll do, guys, we'll put on an external aerial and see what we can drag in. And that'll prove how we're going with this thing. Okay. Now we've got some interference. Let's turn the light off. And I'll tell you what, you know what we've got to do here. We've got to be earthed. So I'll grab a cable, put him on here, put him on our generator, and it makes a world of difference in here because we're isolated with our isolation transformer. And we've still got heaps of garbage.
Okay. Yeah.
There's our friend. Yeah, we're going pretty good. Now, I'll just give us a bit of a close-up view of the tuner assembly there. That's what I'm adjusting there.
Being one of the key drivers,
and boy, that's working well.
Yeah. So my dad never.
And yeah, there's no use sense in you guys listening to that rubbish. Guys, what we've got to do next is IF transformers 1, 2, and get these are 455 kilohertz. Okay, have I got the sheet on this anywhere? I know they're 455, but I was just going to show you the sheet. But anyway, there's our tuner. But I'll be putting these circuit diagrams there. We'll see them a little bit later when I'm tuning her up. So this transformer, and our oscillator. Well, guys, what we've got for the oscillator on the top end, on the bottom end, we have a coil. Okay, that's not a problem. Look down in here. You've got one of those horrible little ceramic adjustable capacitors where you've got wrap a wire around the former and tune it that way. If it's not out far, we'll do that. Just leave it as is probably. If it is out a fair way and we do have to adjust the station positioning, what I do is just replace it with a normal little trim cap, say a 3 picofarad to around about a 30 picofarad would be fine across there. Okay, there's another trim cap around here for the high end of the RF. Yeah, what else can I tell you? There's our main oscillator coil over here for our low side on our AM, so in around the 600. So we position it there and use this horrible little adjustable thing for the top end. But we need the dial on there. So now I'm going to cut out some cardboard for the dial, clean the dial up, put the dial back on, and then we'll get on with the alignment. We'll, pretty well get this baby done. Won't take long. Now, wattage-wise, we are drawing 79.3 watts. So, yeah, this thing draws a bit of juice. HT, still sitting, if you can see that. I probably had it where you could see it. 292 anyway, and that's pretty close. Now, HT, let's have a bit of a look. HT2, which is through our first resistor here, on the other side of that resistor, should be 250. And it says, where's my camera? 255. So pretty close on that one. We'll go to the next one, and it should be HT3, HT4, HT3. Where's our voltage? 220. So it should be 220 volts. Over on the other side of here, 224. That to me is pretty damn close. And HT4 should be 200, which is the feed for our tuner. Okay, so 204. Pretty good. Guys, I'm very happy with how this is coming up. This is no problem at all. Spot on. So let's get the dial back onto it and we'll do an alignment. Righto guys, well it's alignment time. So what I've done is I've just used some cardboard. Now I've just got ordinary black cardboard from Officeworks here in Australia, but it's just normal cardboard, and we've just cut it to size so it goes in behind the dial. This is if you're doing one of these. And our dial glass has been cleaned, and we sit him down on the little ledge underneath there. Okay, don't sit it on the bottom of the pointers. There's a little ledge there that it sits on. Okay, and we'll centre it up. Now, on the side of our glass, we'll put our rubbers. Like that. Clips on. And just get him over the side. Actually, our rubber's catching there. There we go. Okay, so that's held him in place. Do the same on the other side. Everything's centre. Put a clip on this side. And stop him from moving. There we go. Okay. And of course, as I said, we've got to have our dial on to do our alignment. So, I think we're nearly ready. We'll fire it up. We'll let it sit for, I like sitting for maybe 15-20 minutes before we do any alignments, and the generator on, well, at least half an hour before any alignments. The new generators may be different to my old girl, the Marconi here, but yeah, I like things to warm up before doing the alignment. Okay, I'll be back shortly and we'll set up a meter and see how we go. We'll start on the first IF of 455 kilohertz, second IF 455, and then we'll do the bottom end of the band, the RF at 600, the top end at, well, what are we doing, 1400, and trimmers, and yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, now I normally do this with the gang fully open on 455 kilohertz. We're going into pin 2 of the 6AN7, which is the same as our aerial side of our tuning gang. Okay, but if you want to do it, well, correctly, one side of this goes to the antenna rod, the other side of the aerial section of the tuning gang goes to pin 2 down here. So I'll be going to pin 2, and well, just a matter of getting him to sit there. Okay, here we go, and dim bulb, yep. Everything looks normal there. You guys can't see it, but it is. Okay. Get a bit of volume. And wait for things to warm up. Now, once this warms up, I'll be giving it 10, probably 15 minutes to stabilise, warm up, stabilise, and then I do the alignment. It's just the way I do things. Okay, there she comes. Now, we don't have anything there at the moment. I think I can hear it. We've got a very low level coming out of the generator. We'll go up and I can hear it, and you can see it on the meter. Okay, you can see that. All right. Now, I'm just going to turn that down. I'll be back in 15 minutes and we'll continue with 455. Okay guys, well, let's let's get on with the alignment now. Everything's been running here for half an hour, so I'm thinking things are pretty stable. And yes, I do have it off dim bulb. Young Don at Don's Old Radio Shed. I do have it direct bypassed. So, okay, we're going to start the top of transformer number 1. And let's have a look at the meter, and I think we're just about on the peak there. That's about it. I do have a plastic screwdriver here. Plastic. But yet it does make a slight difference when I put it in here. Now, we go in the bottom of it here, and I've just got to be careful that I don't zap myself here with this. Okay, let's see. No, we're on the peak. On the peak there. Okay. Righto. No. Transformer number 2. Let's see. In the top there. And what can we do with him? And no. Bring him back up. And down. No, he's peaked. This is very, very close. There's not much to do here. Okay, now the bottom of transformer number 2. Normally these Krieslers are pretty spot on, really. Where can I... You can see where I'm in there. Okay, I've just gone into the bottom of that can. You can't see from my hand when I'm doing this. And the jumping around there was just me touching the aerial side of it. Guys, that's it. There's no more to do. That's pretty well spot on. We're down to, well, 200 microvolts there. That's fine. That's going really good. Okay. So the next thing is I will put my generator onto the aerial, and what we're going to do now, if I can just rearrange a couple of things here, is line up our pointers. There's we've got to go to 600. Now I'll be going to what's at 600? 4QR. So QR is, where's our 4? Boy, we don't. QR. There we are. Okay, let's give us a bit of a look around here. Okay, QR is right here. So there's not many other markings on this. There's a PS marking here, a scale. That's just where the dial pointers, well, this dial pointer ends up at, which has already been set. So if I go to here at 4QR, round about the centre there, this is not, life and death with these things. I mean, there's very little stations around now anyway. And we'll put our generator onto 600. Okay, we got anything? No. That's strange, isn't it?
It's about
we should have something there. Let's we'll go up a bit in. Uh, 600. Why haven't we got?
It's about
We'll go up a bit further.
it's kind of
There we are. We're getting up fairly well in signal level there, but 4QR has to be it has to go up to the right just a little bit, just a tad. And our ABC station, which is coming in here anyway, actually has to go a little bit to the right on the dial as well. So we'll just adjust our oscillator until we can get him at 4QR. And I can't get in that side of him. I have to go in from this end. Oh. And now this is too long. Will we adjust there? There he comes. There. Okay.
Dundee Alto.
A little bit more. That's good. Okay.
Crocodile Dundee, and the movie is made by Delaney, who we just love.
And our ABC of 2CR is also now spot on. Okay, we'll do the other end. We'll go to 12, which is 1400. Oh, there he is. LT rather, not LG. I was saying LG. It's not, it's LT. And that is spot over spot on. Exactly in the right spot there. What else can we get there? 1494. We'll go 1500, which is a 2AY on our dial. I'm doing all this because there's nothing here to align it to. There's no other marks on the dial. So this is what I align them to when there's nothing else written on the dial. I use the call signs. And we know the needles are in the right place. We've gone from one end to the other. It's central. So, okay, we'll put our dials on 2AY, which is right there. Okay, on that station. We will now go to 1500, and that should be 1500. Little bit off. It's slightly lower than what it should be. But guys, I'm not going to worry about that too much, because I'll just unwind this a little bit to see if he takes him up. And it's taking him down, I think, because that's these silly little trimmer caps, these tubular caps that you have to wind or unwind the wire around. We're very close, half a needle width away. Guys, I'm happy with that. There's where this guy lives, well, there's more or less no stations around that area. So, yeah, That's going to be extremely close. Okay. Now, while we're up this end, we're going to peak our aerial trimmer, which is this fella in here, for maximum signal. And that's pretty well peaked there. Right, guys, that's more or less it. There's no more to the alignment. It's a shame when they use these silly trimmers, the ceramic tube trimmers, where you've got to wind the wire around to lengthen it or shorten it to get get your station. Be so easier to just put in a little trimmer cap in here, but that's that close that I don't have to do that. That's extremely close. All right, what else has got to be done? Not very much. She's pretty right. Now, also with this machine, we've got to fit Bluetooth into this, so I've also got to work out, well, how are we going to do that? What are we going to do for the Bluetooth trigger? A lot of the time, as you know, you've seen me do it before, I'll go up to the end of the band, put a magnet on our tuning drum, which triggers a micro switch and turns the Bluetooth on. I don't know whether to do that because we do have an external input up the top here. So I'm going to think about that. I'll be back shortly, and that's probably the next thing to think about is fitting the control circuitry for the Bluetooth. What else is next? Probably the Bluetooth, a little bit of cabinet work, and of course the turntable. So guys, I'm going to wrap this one up as finish this part, otherwise it makes the videos too long. You've seen sort of how I do the alignment roughly with these. These are so spot on, there is not much to do, so couldn't show you much there. Now, I did say when I went through and replaced the caps, we'll check the resistors and change any that were out of spec. Well, I did find a couple that were out of spec. Let's have a look. Well, there's our casualty list of this one. And we'll have a look at these before we finish up, just to give us an idea of what was what. Now, with the capacitors, well, you saw with what capacitors, those lot filtering. This lot here was the cathode bypass for the GW8s and the 12AX7, and these 4 waxies up the back for the in the plate circuit of the output valves. Okay, so once again, these were in the cathode bypass resistors for the GW8s, and these cathode bypass in the 12AX7s. Now, we'll start with the 12AX7s. Okay, I just got to make sure I'm recording this. 2.2K, and I replaced these anyway. 2.27, 2.22, sorry. Can you guys see that? No. There was probably no need to change that resistor. I just changed them anyway, because I don't like these types of resistors. I've put in metal film resistors, and this one is 2.6. So this one was high. I thought, well, there's no sense in leaving one in there that was, it was close on spec. That's out of spec as far as I'm concerned. So we changed both. 180 ohm on the cathode bypass resistors on the GW8s, one pair. So this is 180 ohm. That's reading 222, 221, 222. Way too high. And these ones are always crook in these MultiSonics. Okay, this one 214 ohm, and these are 180. Both are 180 ohm. I change these no matter what. Just put 1 watt, 180 ohm metal film resistors in there. You'll never have any more problems with it. These old carbon fellas, well, yeah, they suck in moisture and vary. They're not the best to leave in there. So there you go. There's there's the lot. The filter caps didn't read too bad, but we're changing them anyway. These little fellas, well, yeah, there was one of these open circuit and the other one was very, very leaky. So, and as you can see, the ends of them hard as a rock, and yeah, they've finished. And of course, the waxies all leak. Righto, guys. Well, we can't play too much of that. I don't want any copyright strikes. But that's a station in Lithgow here, 2LT, and that's oh gee, I don't know, 120, 130 k's away from where I am, and it's picking it up quite nicely. So I have switched to the outside aerial. Okay, so let's have a tune along the dial. Just and the interferences in here today, I don't know why, but it's just next level. It's horrible. And another ABC. And
Kel Richards' wonderful book, Flash Jim. It's the story of James Hardy Bow. And can I congratulate you, Jim, for doing pronunciation?
And that's our main ABC and our other local station.
Going really well, so
is there. And that's 2DU and Dubbo for the Australia listeners. And it's I don't know, a couple of 100 k's away, I suppose. But unfortunately, this afternoon we've got heaps and heaps of noise. I really don't know why. There is no there's no storms around, and atmospheric, well, it's light rain outside. There just seems to be next level interference again in this damn workshop. Okay, we're going to have to look into this AM aerial business and try and get things a little bit better than what they are. But anyway, that's it for the tuning. It's performing incredible. Well, we love these. Love them. So I know that it's going right. So guys, I'm going to wrap this one up. Yes, we're going to come back with Bluetooth. I'm going to work out what I'm going to do. But for the time being, now I'm going to get onto the turntable and also do something with the front grills on, as you saw in the first video. The front speaker grills, we're going to have to do something with them. Okay, if you're liking this, give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done already, hit the bell, it'll notify you when I put the next one up. And yeah, there's always coffees out there you can buy. There's a little shop thing just there. And yeah, a super thanks, anything to keep these going. Love doing them, and I want to keep going with them, want to keep this channel going. We've got to bring back this vintage stuff. Okay, guys, catch you soon. Okay, bye.